Welcome to a little film about beanies. Actually, more than just beanies. It's about being a responsible business in South Africa and what we can do as a corporate entity, as a business entity, to uplift those around us and take cognizance of the fact that there's a lot of hardship, that there are a lot of people living very difficult lives who contribute and help us in our business. And by uplifting those around us, we're able to make not only a stronger country, but also stronger businesses. I'm going to be showing you a little video, a little film about beanies, and talking a little bit about corporate responsibility. I've always been a little suspicious of big corporate responsibility programs, and I always think sometimes it's a little bit more for the marketing than it is because they really care about the people and the communities in which they work, operate, and live. But I worked for a big company called Constellation, then the biggest wine company in the world, and it was in South Africa, and I was making a wine called Kamala, and I got introduced to a project called the Ikaya School in Kayamandi. And this was a project that has for the last 8 years really been sponsored by first Constellation, or first actually a company called Western Wines, then Constellation, which then morphed into a company called Accolade. And the one constant throughout this whole different corporates being involved in this upliftment program has been a guy called James Reed, who's been the general manager of the South African office. And it was James who introduced me to this sort of secret, really, of upliftment in Kayamandi, which is the township just outside Stellenbosch. So this is a program this is a film which I'm going to be showing you about beanies, as I said, but it's really a lot more. It's about how one can make a real difference in the communities in which you live. So we're here at Ikaya School in Kayamandi in Stellenbosch. This is a project that it's grade R learners, so preschool learners, and we have been sponsoring this particular facility for the last 8 years to the tune of over 5 million rand. I've been involved in it since I was involved with Constellation and Accolade, and today we're here just handing out beanies. It's a separate proposal. This is from the Drift, and just to keep their little heads warm in winter, which is where most of their heat gets lost from, so that their little brains can be warm and they can learn lots. As you can see, none of them have beanies. Poor kids. So they're all in need of a beanie. Come, Izzy, come and help. Oh, you're there. I'd like to introduce you to the principal of Ikaya School. This is the leading light and the lady who has been instrumental in creating a safe haven for a whole lot of little kids in what is otherwise a very impoverished and difficult part of the Western Cape. It's a school which we have supported because it's within our community, and it's a way that we can give back. Mr. Mjima, I just want to ask you to maybe explain a little bit about what it means to the community to have companies in the area give back to the community.
Oh, we appreciate that very much, because before, our learners, when they come to grade 1, they couldn't even hold their pens. But now, since we have this grade R, they are being prepared here, and then they come there, they are ready for grade 1. So we appreciate what has been done to us.
Excellent. We know that there's a space for a vegetable garden, and as vegetable farmers, we know how to do that properly. We're the biggest organic onion producers in the Western Cape, so this is an idea of Isabel's, one of our team, and we're going to be coming in and helping get the soil right with our team, and then also training the teachers who are interested in gardening, so that you guys can have vegetables grown organically, very healthy, very nutritious for the kids, grown throughout the year.
You are more than welcome. We appreciate that, because our learners need vegetable, because some of them, even at home, they don't get vegetable. So we will appreciate that very much.
Excellent. No, well, it's a great pleasure, and it's wonderful to see all the hard work that you've been putting in, and to see the little happy faces, and this is a way that we can be part of the solution.
Thank you so much.
Excellent, Jima. Thank you very much. Okay, excellent. So now we need to interview Yaku as well. So I'd like to introduce you to Yaku van der Merwe. Yaku has been instrumental, as I've said earlier, in this project right from the very beginning. What is it now? 8 years?
10.
10 years. 10 years, over 5 million rands worth of funding that has come from various different incarnations of companies that Yaku has been involved in, right from the very beginning with the Gabs and with Mr. Fontenaz of Origin. But then shortly thereafter, as things got more and more serious with Western Wines and all around a brand called Kumala, then Constellation, which took over Kumala, also continued to put money in, thanks to Yaku's sort of insistence and encouragement. And when the brand moved from Constellation, which was then the world's biggest wine company, to Accolade, and when Constellation sold off part of itself, Accolade then became the owner of Kumalo, and again Accolade came to the party. Again, thanks to your involvement and persistence in keeping a whole lot of different people and a whole lot of different stakeholders engaged and involved. I think there are two remarkable jobs you've done, Jaco. The first one is that you were right at the very beginning, instrumental in getting the whole thing going, but then to keep encouraging new players who'd never been here, and every time we bring up a new corporate up this road and show them this thing, we get them involved again and we get them engaged. And I think that in itself is brilliant and genius, and I think we are very lucky, and these kids in this school and this entire community is very lucky to have had your involvement. So I think maybe you can just talk a little bit more about the history.
Yeah, I was saying to Andrew just now, in terms of, it's quite interesting. The original idea came from actually standing round about where the kids are now. This was a netball field, and I was driving past here from Stellenbosch to the N1, and I saw the school, and I looked through the telephone directory to actually get a number, and met with Gert Banja, the original principal of the school, and he was absolutely ecstatic, because he was trying to get money from all the other big players in the wine industry in South Africa, all the traditional guys, and he didn't get any success out of them. So when we approached them, obviously he was smiling, and we stood up here and we said, but I mean, what is the biggest need in the community? What does Kayamandi need? And it came out that there's no great art facilities in this community. And we said, but great, so let's get involved and let's engage with you in terms of this. And that's where the whole idea was formed, in terms of way back in 2003. The concept, 2004, we started off with the Wendy houses that we see at the back here as a temporary accommodation for the kids until the school was built. And in October 2004, we actually had the inauguration of the first 5 classrooms that you can basically see on that L wing there. At that stage, the government was not interested in funding great art, so for us it was an ideal opportunity in terms of bringing funds to the table. Not only did we fund the capital side, but we also did the teachers. So it doesn't help to have a building and there's no teachers.
We are 8 teachers. Altogether, we have 208. We have 8 classes. The kids are 208, 26 child in each class.
3 years ago, given the demand, the need, a lot of the kids had been shown away, we decided to build this additional 2 classrooms. So now we are at maximum for the Ikaya Primary School in terms of how many classrooms we can provide. Obviously, we are limited in terms of the number of grade 1 classes at the end of the day.
It's exciting because we're giving the children the foundation When I get into grade 1, they're already prepared. They know how to use pencil, which teaches them how to handle it, the pencil grip, the colors, the numbers, all those things. They can recognize their names. I give them the good foundation. We are happy to have this school here.
I think at the end of the day, if one stands back and you look over the mountains and you see the buildings, then you realize that something tangible have been created by a lot of people. Ms. Nkijima, the principal of the school, she's played a tremendous role. Accolade Wines, in terms of continue with their in funding, in investment, and the people from Accolade also, and then the rest of the community of Kayamandi that assisted to make this possible. I think it's a good example in terms of how corporates can get involved on a very tangible way of making a difference in terms of establishing and growing a better South Africa. I think that's about it from my side.
Yeah, well spoken. I've heard Yaku cajole and encourage people over the years. A lot of the corporates that we've had through here, and it's been extraordinary to watch every single time. We come through the township and they're all a little bit nervous, foreigners coming through the South African township, and they see the poverty on the way, and they see the lack of facilities, and then we get up into this little school, and you see the kids sitting in a line, eating everything on their plate, eating with relish, well behaved, and just happy, and this is the future and the joy, and this is what South Africa can be. Keep somehow holding on to the spirit, and if we can nurture and be involved in that process, then what a wonderful opportunity, and it means a lot to all of us in Accolade and at the Drift. And I think we're very privileged to have the likes of Ms. Njima, the principal, and Yaku to drive it for us. We're very lucky. So Yaku, thanks very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure, Bruce.